All right. I hope people have started to join. It's going to be an interesting session today. Yes, welcome everyone to ADPList's BeMore Festival, sponsored by all the big brands out there. And we have a lot of people joining in the chat section. You can always let us know where you're joining from, of what part of the world are you from, and yeah, we'll begin in just 1 minute. We wouldn't waste too much time waiting for other folks. But it's going to be a very interesting evening today. We're going to have a lot of insights around monetizing your skills as a creative professional. Because I felt that a lot of people can find content around Figma and design systems, but there's very little knowledge around monetizing what you already know. All right, we have quite a few people. All right, so I think we should first understand what we'll be learning today. And I'm just going to keep the chat to my left so that I can see your questions. Let me scale this window down because I want to take questions in the middle as well. We'll have a 10-minute Q&A at the very end. But yeah, let's just keep things here. Awesome. So the first topic that we will discuss is understanding the difference between value and perceived value, right? No matter how good you are at what you do, if you cannot communicate your value to other stakeholders, to your co-founders, or maybe to the person that you're giving your interview to, it's going to be very difficult to actually convert your designs into real products or even get your first job. Then I'll take you through some of my top secrets for growing faster in this industry. Uh, I'm in India right now, and there are a lot of UX designers who are trying to enter this field. So, if you want to grow fast, if you want to leverage the right resources, you have to be very wise about what you learn, and how you put yourself on the internet. And in the end, I'm going to share you some of my favorite design resources that can help you kickstart your career and upskill at a very, very fast rate. So, the most important topic, and it's going to get clear in a second, the most important concept that I wanted to teach was around how I take inspiration from everything outside UX, everything outside the domain of technology. And I feel that the more you explore stuff outside UX, the better you get at your problem solving skills. There is great inspiration in reading books. But once you start picking clues from your entire day to day life or the universe that you live in, your lens of searching for ideas and solutions scales up by 100%. So, if design in tech is this one small button right here, not design in tech is going to be like this huge world where you can get your best ideas. Because once you start observing your day to day phenomena, whether it's through movies or filmmaking or posters or social media or anything that is around you, you'll realize that almost all things resemble each other. And once you do that, your pattern recognition will become really strong. So let's just assume that you have some interests around marketing or singing or dancing or football, whatever it is. You're doing a lot of things outside UX as well. Each of the information that you've collected so far becomes a dot. And you will have many dots like these. Every single topic that you've ever studied becomes one single dot. Now, most people have these dots in their brains without any connections to them. You must have heard the very popular Steve Jobs, uh, speech as well, where he talks about connecting the dots. What you have to do is you have to make sure that whatever it is that you're learning, you start finding overlaps. Because there's a very popular quote that is, by one of Vice's investors, and he says that people invest in lines and not dots. So what you have to do is, oh, is the presentation like it's frozen? I can see my preview, so it's just at one slide. But yeah, moving ahead, what you have to do is you have to figure out that if I am experiencing day to day life, if I'm experiencing stuff from marketing or filmmaking, how can I find overlaps and how can I improve my pattern recognition? I, as a UX designer, consistently look at inspiration which is in the world of marketing and psychology, because in the end, when you make certain products, it's literally about understanding what people want and how people think. Because once you crack that, you will be able to not only sell your designs and solutions, you will be able to upskill yourself and get better promotions going forward. The second advice is around becoming a storyteller. So I'm a huge fan of storytelling because I was a filmmaker before I became a UX designer. And we all have noticed that most expensive products charge 5x or 10x extra premiums simply because of the narrative attached with their product. So it's not just about buying a specific product, it's also about the narrative you buy through the consumption of that product. So if you're buying a really expensive bag, if you're buying a really expensive pair of sneakers, it's not just the raw materials that you get, it's also the tag, it's also the brand, it's the aspirational value that comes in when you attach yourself to that specific brand. So on one side you have a diary which might be for 40 bucks, but on the right side I might just take this diary, put it in a nice envelope, probably call it vintage series limited edition, probably have applications to buy it, and now suddenly the premiums might rise from 40 bucks to 350 bucks, right? And this is where storytelling comes in, because remember the last time you went into a grocery store, you would have 100% seen different brands selling water, all brands selling the same chemical compound, which is H2O, but with a different narrative attached to it. I don't think different water bottles would have a very stark difference in the way they fetch their water, because essentially water is free. If you really think about it, all these resources that we buy by paying some amount of money are essentially available to us for free, but just because of their distribution, just because of their positioning, they're able to charge us high amounts of money. So the thing is, emotions have more influence than common logic. So on the left side you have water, but on the right side you have something which is artesian water. It is the company's way to make sure that if a person is looking ways to feel special, I am there to sell him or her something nice. Because a lot of people would simply buy the bottle on the right side as a status symbol, or maybe just to feel good about themselves, or maybe just to create an impression. Because a lot of things in our world are simply mental constructs. And if you start recognizing these mental constructs, you will start breaking down things. And once you do that, you will understand how people think, you will understand what people want, and you will be able to sell them better solutions and better products. Because if you're a good storyteller, you will always have more attention, because people avoid lectures, but they love hearing an entertaining story. So here are four things that I wanted to discuss that helped me become a better designer and a better problem solver. And one is investing in your nutrition, sleep, and physique. I feel like a lot of designers ask me saying that, oh, what should we do to, grow faster or become good at, problem solving? And most people would expect an answer like probably get the pro plan of Figma, or probably get a better laptop, or probably buy this course or that certification. And all of that works. But on a very foundational level, your work is a reflection of your internal state. If internally your mind and your body are not aligned with you, it's going to have a very difficult time to sort of put high energy work out there. And trust me, I have seen this happen. I know a lot of designers who are really hardworking, but because of their own physical and mental limitations, because of low energy, when they're put in front of important people, when they're put in front of important stakeholders, they lose the charm. They don't know how to sell the right story. And that is what I want you guys to focus on. Instead of just investing in your tools and technology, invest in increasing your energy, invest in your nutrition, sleep, and physique. Because once you raise your internal state, it will start reflecting in your external state, in your external work. And when that happens, people with similar energy levels will start contacting you. But if you're at low energy, high energy, people will not communicate with you, they will not network with you. Second is the ability to communicate what you're thinking, practicing verbal fluency. You can have the best of ideas in your brain, but if you don't know how to communicate them properly, if you're not practicing the right vocabulary, the right words, the right tonality, it's going to be very difficult to encourage people or bring people on board or simply motivate them to listen to your idea. Because as a designer, you can take inspiration from the best of resources and places and ideas, but to bring it from your ideation state to the launch state, there are a lot of people involved. You have your developers, you have your PMs, you have your co-founders. You need a lot of green signals moving ahead. And the most important part is communicating what you think and communicating the value of which that you are offering. For example, if I am trying to promote a design system for my company, I know that a design system is going to help my company launch better features, have more efficiency. I understand all of it. But if I can't communicate it in a way where all my stakeholders would understand its importance, it's all a waste. A very quick example. As a designer, if you tell your co founders or PMs or developers that, hey, let's build a design system because when we have variants and components and all these component properties, it becomes very easy to scale products. They might understand a little bit of it, but it's not going to get them excited. You have to understand what are they looking for. PMs are looking for quick launches. Co-founders and all the general managers are trying to reduce costs. So this is the right way to pitch a design system. You say that, hey, if we invest a month in building a design system, we will have less confusions, less reworks, less iterations, less mistakes in the handoff. We will launch features faster. We will spend less time. And that means we will spend less on salaries. So you save a lot of money in your salaries and you launch features that are better, cleaner looking, more aesthetic. So your revenue will go up and the cost of salaries will go down. And that is how you can have a better margin. You will instantly get attention from all the stakeholders involved because now you're speaking their language. It is very important to understand that not everyone is a designer and not everyone is going to value your vision and your ideas. They're going to value what you can do for them. Third point, position yourself well, virtually and physically. And there are a lot of components to this entire picture, but Naval Ravikant, a great angel investor, says that no amount of hard work can substitute who you work with and what you work on. But to connect with the right people, to have that recognition, to be noticed by right people, you have to put yourself at the right spot, positioning, right? Because the same bottle of water might be for 10 cents, $1, and $4, depending on where it is being positioned. It might be for 50 cents in a general store, might be for $2, I don't know, in a cinema theater, or maybe for $10 in a very expensive flight. So the raw material is essentially the same. But just because I've positioned it in the right spot, I have the ability to charge really high premiums. If you are in a place where you have physical limitations, internet can help you put yourself on the internet on the right platform. So as a designer, you need to be on Instagram, Dribble, Behance, TopTal, AngelList, all of these platforms. You need to be there. Put the right profile picture, put the descriptions, and leverage their SEOs. Because if you're available on all these platforms, the entire HTML code of these websites is going to help you come on Google. And that is very, very important because it doesn't matter how good you are if people can't notice you. And in the end, give before you get. Because of social media, because of quick money and all of these videos that we see, everyone wants to earn a lot of money very quickly. The thing is, everyone knows this scheme, so it doesn't work when you try to scale it. In the beginning, try to give before you get. You might have to work for free. You might have to do things at a lower cost. But if you know that I am getting a chance to work with the right kind of people, if I'm getting a chance to put my network out there, if I'm getting a chance to show my face to better people, do it because it's going to help you. Don't think about money in the short term because you might get rich in the short term, but really poor in the long term. So always try to play long term games. And this is something that I've learned from Naval as well, that you have to play long term games with long term people. So, yes, put yourself on the internet, that is done. Second point, very important, is that you have to document everything that you learn. So, I'm a big fan of Notion. And if you guys don't know what Notion is, it's a documentation tool. I've been documenting my insights on Notion since, 2021, right? And it has really, really helped me. Like, the thing is, as you learn more things, you keep on forgetting the stuff that you read earlier. So, you need to go back and revise what you know already. And the thing is, when you build a repository on Notion, it becomes your own personal search engine. I have been collecting resources in well properly organized pages since March 2021. And trust me, it has helped me every time. And another point is being skillful and functional. I'll extrapolate on this entire topic. So, the entire subject is around getting more opportunities, right? How do you get more opportunities as a creative individual? The only way why people will come to you is by knowing that you can help them get what they want. So if I am a UX designer who's good at After Effects, motion graphics, illustrations, I'm prototyping, a person who needs me will make sure that he pays me whatever I'm asking for. And it depends on how skillful you are and how functional you are. If you can deliver things on time, if you can deliver things in a way that are scalable, if you can cater to different skill sets, people around you will start noticing you and they will pay you what you ask for. But if you're not skillful, if you're not functional, it's going to become very difficult for you to attract opportunities. So it's literally not just about putting yourself on the internet, but it's also about increasing your own value. Because what people do is they try to improve their visual design, they try to improve their branding, but that is you improving your pitch. I am recommending you to improve the offer. They're two different things. A lot of people spend too much time on improving their pitch. That is, you might want to fix your visuals, you might want to fix your website, might want to fix your portfolio. All of the things are the pitch. But I am saying spend some time improving the offer. What do I mean by that? Learn the right softwares, learn prototyping, learn how to pitch, understand how startups work, understand how functional design works, and you will soon get more opportunity. You will soon become more luckier. There's one very, very cool resource that I would recommend you folks, which would allow you to learn from really senior industry folks. And that is this website called whiteboard.fm. And it basically has interviews from all senior designers from all over the world. I have been in the show once and I have watched every single video on this entire platform. And trust me, it is worth it. It is worth investing the time and just figuring out how people work. There are some very, very cool resources that I wanted to share just because these resources are going to help you upskill yourself very, very quickly. So let's go through them one by one. And yeah, whiteboard.fm is the place. I'm just going to start with the basic resources. So, Apple recently launched their guidelines on HCI, and this website right here is going to have articles around different patterns and loading states, and all things that is very useful to people who are especially designing for iOS. So very cool resource where you will have really high quality videos. Second is uxmasterclass.design, which is a very clear and crystal clear library of free resources to help you learn the best practices of UX design. There's a very cool article which is start.uxdesign.cc, which is basically the ultimate guide with all the secrets you will need to know to become a fabulous design unicorn. Right. So there's this term called design unicorn that's going to help you, upskill in different domains. Uh, if you're a student who's trying to build their first portfolio, maybe you're a student who wants their first job in a big company like Google or Microsoft, then this website right here is going to help you go through all the big design interns. Like people, students who have cracked internships at the top tech companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple. So you will have a lot of insight because you will be able to see their resume, their case studies, everything, right? And for people who are asking, the links are all in the chat. So I'm pasting them in the chat section so you will have them. Next resource is going to be learnmobile.design. So if you are specifically in the mobile design domain, if you are specifically interested in mobile design, this is a epic list, epic curation of all the articles and videos that you need to get started for designing for mobiles. If you are into reading, if you want to read around best practices, there's this website called uxpin.com. So I think Rohit is asking for the design unicorn resource. Let me just put that again because that's a pretty interesting resource. So this is the one for design unicorn. Yes. So next I have just shared you the link for the UX pin articles. There's one more website that is really good for UI designing. That's uilearn.com. So they have a very good blog that has really practical articles. In fact, I'm not sure if you guys know about this, but there's also Mobin.design. There's also Growth.design. Brilliant website for really impactful case studies. Like you will be able to learn. Thank you so much, Maitri. You will be able to learn a lot about how big companies leverage design to increase their conversions. You also have empty states. So for a lot of people who are just entering the industry, they're very confused about building empty states, building loading states. So this empty states right here is going to give you a lot of inspiration. around building the right empty states for your, all the frames that you make on Figma. If you want to upskill just for Figma, there's this website called figmalion.com. It is the god level curation of all the Figma articles, resources, and videos that you will ever need. Right, like brilliant article for learning, not article, like a complete repository of Figma resources. There's uxdesign.cc, ultimate Figma resource archive. If you want to learn quick shortcuts, there's also awesomefigtips.com. So really good website for quick shortcuts. Right, like I have saved a lot of time by using everything that this website has to offer. Sometimes as a junior designer, you make components and you forget to add simple stuff. So there's this website called checklist.design. So when you go on checklist.design, you will actually see different components, right? So if you're making a logo, if you're making a button, if you're making a card, it will actually tell you that if you're making a button, these are the things that you have to remember, right? Like it's very cool. Like if you check out checklist.design, I'm telling you, it's just going to change your life. A lot of people are interested in copywriting as well, right? So copy plays a huge role in how you communicate with your UI. So there's this website called microcopy.me. So it basically uh, collects good copy from all the big apps, right? So when you go to this website, you will see access, like a very good collection of copywriting from these big apps, like very interesting stuff, very inspiring stuff. um, One more thing. So now the upcoming resources are for senior designers, and I'm very happy. I'm seeing the chat section. That is why I keep getting interrupted. But I'm very happy that you guys are enjoying the entire thing. Yes, I'm going to share my Medium articles as well. I'm going to share them one by one. So, for people who want to learn about design resources, uh, the best website is designsystems.com. But if you want to see practical design systems, like actually see them in depth, then there's designsystemsrepo.com. So, designsystemsrepo.com is going to help you go through all the popular design systems. And if you want to learn on a very component level, then there's component.gallery, right? So this is component.gallery. So the thing is, design systems repo is going to allow you to learn from a design systems level. So you take a design system and then you make your notes. But component.gallery is going to help you sort of begin at the atomic level. So when you go to component gallery, if you click on accordion, then you will see how an accordion is made by different design systems all around the world, right? And just like learnmobile.design, there's this thing called heydesign.systems. Right, so Hey Design Systems is like this big curation of all these articles and videos and reading lists and stories around design systems. If you're interested about Medium, there's one guy that I would 100% recommend you to follow. His name is Dan Sapio. Like, brilliant guy. I love his articles. His articles have been so helpful to me, right? Like, really good guy. And one of his most impactful articles is this article called 47 Key Lessons for UI UX Designers. Like, I'm telling you, if you learn these 47 key lessons, it's just going to take you like 15 minutes. But after 15 minutes, you're just gonna like become so much better. It's gonna be so cool for you. I don't have these resources in one spot, folks. I'm so sorry, because I'm just going through my notes to give you these different resources. A lot of people ask tools for making portfolios, right? So they're like, I don't know how to make my portfolio. I don't know coding. So I'm going to share some websites that's going to allow you to convert your Figma to code, or maybe use templates. So yeah, I think we're just going to be, how much time do we have, Ganesh? I'm just gonna yeah, I think I'm just going to share two, three more resources, and yeah, then we can go on to the Q&A. If Ganesh, you can type in the chat. I think we have, okay, we have around 16 minutes. Got it. Also, folks, I would let you know that I actually teach design. So whatever resources that I'm sharing, I've shared like a ton of these resources here. So I have a YouTube channel where I teach in both Hindi and in English. So when you go to this Notion page right here, you will have access to all the resources that I have shared, and like hundreds of resources more, to be honest, because that is what I do. And if you folks have any doubts, you can always connect with me on Instagram. So I keep posting about design events and meetups. I keep having design meetups. This is my YouTube channel right here. So I teach in both Hindi and in English. So I have just launched a course on UX design for entrepreneurs as well. So you can share that with your co-founders and entrepreneurs, because a lot of designers are working with people who don't understand UX. And yes, I'm based out of New Delhi, but I'm traveling to London next week. So if any of you is in London, or if you know any good UX communities based out of London, I would love to connect with you folks. But yes, if you folks want to connect, this is my Instagram, and yeah, that was my YouTube. All right, just a few resources, and then we'll quickly come to the Q&A. So if you're trying to make your portfolios, uh, the most cool resources, right? Like these resources are absolutely game changing. So first one is the Anima app. They have this thing called, uh, converting your Figma files right into code. There's Framer, brilliant, brilliant place. There's makers.so that would convert your Figma files into a website very, very quickly. There's Identity ID Me, not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but they have like these online portfolio templates. Like within 10 to 15 minutes, you can quickly start making your own website, right? And if you want to take inspiration from other portfolios, there's this website called bestfolios.com. So you will have a lot of inspiration here. In fact, even Adobe has come up with their own portfolio links, right? So you can actually use Adobe resources as well. And if we talk about no code tools, I don't think you guys would need no code tools yet. Um, oh, yeah, a lot of new designers need mockups as well. So if you want to learn like 3D mockups, there's this thing called animockup.com. So this will allow you in your pitch decks on a very, very high level. So it's crazy how good this is, right? And if you want to use your web designs for like a video mockup, like you would actually make videos of your designs, then there's mockoops.mohitya.net. So yeah, um, now we can go on to the Q&A. I hope that you folks liked all these resources. I think I've given you enough to get started. And yeah, thank you, folks. Thank you. But make sure you put your stories on Instagram. I'm looking forward to your reviews. Like, if you really found this session beneficial, I am waiting for your Instagram stories. Make sure you tag me on at the rate anshmehra.work. Let me put this here, anshmehra.work. And yeah, just spread the word, because if you don't spread it, who else will? Make sure you tag ADP as well, because they've been very nice throughout the process. All right, let's take some questions. Folks, we have around I think we have around 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay, awesome. I'm going to check. um awesome. So I think Ganesh is putting the questions one by one. Ganesh, I think you can do that. You can just shortlist the good questions. How can we practice verbal fluency? Is there somewhere I can learn more terms that are related to design? Yeah, so there are two things that you can do, right? Verbal fluency is all about speaking your thoughts out. So for that, I would recommend you to follow this YouTube channel. It's called Charisma on Demand. In fact, every time you're communicating with your friends and family, just try to have more fluency, try to use better sentences. It's a day-to-day practice, right? How to increase your vocabulary? I would recommend you to check out I actually have a very, very cool resource. uh, and that resource not only has vocabulary stuff, but it also allows you to understand how do apps create their flows as well. So I regularly use this app to collect my inspiration. I'm just gonna share a link here. And to be honest, all of these websites are going to help you so much time. So there's this play, most of you must have known this, right? It's called Mobin.design. So if you go on Mobin.design right now, you will actually see a lot of words, a lot of terms that you should know as a UX designer. So they have this column called dictionary. When you go to dictionary, you will find all the important words you need to learn. Ganesh, you can show the next question as well. What's a good way to maintain a Notion database without adding too much friction? I found the balance between organization and capturing hard to find. There is no concrete route to it, to be honest. It's literally just about having the right number of pages. Like, just have a couple of pages, and life will become easy for you. So let me show you my Notion page, right? Um, I don't know where. Let me take a screenshot and just show you my index, right? So I have two, three pages actually. Let me show you. All right. Just opening it 1 second. I'll just screen share. A lot of people are sharing their LinkedIn profiles. Yeah, I'm just screen sharing. Um, yeah. I'm just like getting more examples so that people can just understand how I actually, you know, save things. So let me just paste it here. All right. I'm now going to screen share and Chrome tab, guest lectures, and yeah. So this is how I organize it. Like I have all these different pages for different years. So this is my 2022 page where I have all these small pages, and within a page I write the heading, then I write paste the URL, and then I take a screenshot. So a quick tip for taking screenshots is that if you hold Command Shift 4 and press the Control key, it would actually copy the screenshot on your clipboard so it doesn't pollute your desktop. Command Shift 4 and hold the Control key. So it's a big time saver, right? And whenever you put a heading, don't just write the website's name, write what you like about it. So if I like a website's interaction, my heading is going to be cool, fancy interaction with bright colors, because that is how I remember it. So when I search through my Notion database, obviously I would forget the website's name. But if I type good colors, interaction, then I would quickly find it. So yeah, that's one way to connect. What are the tools for non-designers for creating killer presentations? Pitch, for sure. There's this very cool software called Pitch. I create all my presentations on Pitch. Brilliant tool. It's a game changer. Next question. Do you have any advice for people who want to start writing on Medium and how to use that to monetize our skills? So it's literally you reading more articles on Medium and figuring out what works. So I've just sent you Dan Sapio's link, right? Start reading how Dan Sapio writes and just practice. I don't have much experience in monetizing Medium, so can't really answer about that. Design systems are really helpful in terms of working in one brand. What are for freelancers who need to work on different kinds of products and companies? Any suggestions to cut off extra work? Ansh, you can't. You have to make a design system, and it's a big task. Like there are some people who are dedicated for building a design system. So if you have multiple brands, then you would have to make multiple design systems. Like sometimes you actually can't cut off work. What you can do is cut off mistakes. How do you do that? You research thoroughly about different design systems so that you directly implement the right thing. So when it comes to executing the right thing, you can't cut that off. But can you reduce the number of mistakes you make? Obviously. What are the most important skills programs to learn to be a design unicorn or be more marketable, or will it be better to focus on one field? I feel like you should always begin with one thing, right? Have a specialization in that. Once you have enough confidence in that, then you pick complementary skills. So there are hard skills and there are soft skills as well. When it comes to hard skills, obviously some are non-negotiable. The ability to build a basic design system on Figma, non-negotiable. Build prototypes, non-negotiable, right? Palettes, typography, components, variants, instances, just handling all these things one by one, design tokens, all of these things. You can't skip any of them. In terms of soft skills, the ability to communicate properly, the ability to write properly, the ability to communicate on text properly, because through remote work, most of our communication happens on Slack. So if you don't know how to type properly, you're going to have a lot of issues. And with the AI coming in, most of the AI bots require you to write in detail. So for a designer who can't write, AI is going to be useless for him, right? Like if you really want to leverage AI, you need to improve the way you type in English. Are there any books you recommend? Not really. I mean, I always recommend some books that are outside design. So one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The other is The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Third book is Principles by Ray Dalio. Fourth book would be Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. If you read these four books, I'm telling you, most of your life's issues are just going to disappear. Think and Grow Rich. Uh, yeah, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, Principles by Ray Dalio, and Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. And we just have like 5 minutes to go. So, folks, make sure that you put your reviews on Instagram, because I am certainly waiting for you. Right? Like I am gonna wait for you because I've spent a lot of time collecting these resources. The only thing I need from you is to put a good review on Instagram and tag us. You can tag us on Twitter as well, because Twitter is more intellectual. I feel like a lot of people share good resources on Twitter. So if you want to connect on Twitter, this is my Twitter. I keep posting about different events and meetups and different resources. So yeah, always happy to connect on Twitter as well. How do I get clients as a freelancer? Very easy. You become very good at what you do. Then you put your work on the internet. On the internet you have Behance, Dribble, Instagram, TopTal, 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 AngelList, LinkedIn. That's all. If you're there on these websites and if you are good at what you do, trust me, you will get work very easily. If you're not getting work as a freelancer, most chances are there that you're not good at what you do. I'm a graphic designer looking for transitioning into UX. Is an internship a better option to transition, as most junior UX jobs require 3 to 4 years of experience? 100%. You should obviously begin with an internship. Don't go directly into like a full time job. 100% you have to intern first, and they don't need 3 to 4 years of experience. What are you saying? See, anyway, time is not the right quantity, right? You can be doing the same things for 4 years again and again, and you will be a terrible designer. I know a lot of people who just have 2 years of experience, and they are much better than people who have 5 6 years of experience, because they keep doing different things every week, because they're in a startup. So if you're in a good startup which is backed by a good VC, you will have a very good time. um, I think, okay, awesome. So this is the last question. How do you balance time between content creation and full-time job? So there are three components to this. One is having high energy. Even if you have all the time in the world, if you have very low energy, it's just going to be useless for you. So first is you invest in your nutrition, your physique, and your state of mind, your emotional well-being. Once you have your mind and body working for you, second is you understand what can I outsource. Outsource almost everything you can. But when you outsource, the quality depreciates. So to sustain good quality, even when you're outsourcing, you need processes, you need systems. For that, you need to document everything that you do. So if you document your processes, then you can share that document with other people and outsource it, right? And eventually, you will have more time to swap between, content creation and your full-time job. So, yes, I hope you folks had a good time. I had a good time sharing all these resources. And yeah, I share a lot more on my YouTube channel. I had very little time today. I wish I could take you through my story, how I got here. Had a lot to share, but yeah, we have limited time, and you'll have a lot of interesting people at BeMore Festival as well. So I hope we get to meet soon. I hope we get to interact soon. And yeah, Ganesh, I am done. So let me know whenever you want to end. Thank you, folks. Thank you.
Thank, thank you, Ansh, and it was a really amazing, great session. I would say I saw a lot of
I'm
links.
seeing like the chat section. Can I take a screenshot of the chat section? Is it just gonna end now? Like, does it end automatically?
No, I'll have to end it. So there's like 3 minutes left. I mean, 2 minutes left now. So
Okay,
you
awesome.
can take the screenshot of the chat section, and I don't think if we are streaming in YouTube, I don't think they'll be able to see this chat section. But guys, if you're not seeing on if you're just seeing on YouTube, the chat section is just going haywire. And man, I got tired, just clicking on it and trying to show it here. There are like so many links that aren't shared, and if you guys actually want to see the recorded session, it's there on the YouTube. You can go back, you can see, you can comment, you can share. Make sure to tag Ansh, make sure to tag ADP list. You guys, I hope you have a great, amazing festival, Be More Festival. We have so many more sessions. And thank you, Ansh. And you can give your closing comments, and if you want, and I can end the session once you're
Yeah,
done.
that's all, folks. I mean, as I said, keep working and just leverage all the resources you have on the internet, because trust me, you don't need anything else. You have the internet with you. That is all you need to become a good designer.
Thank you, Ansh. Thank you, guys. Hope to see you guys in the next few sessions.